welcome to another episode of JDHS. So how many of you ever had problems trying to figure out where to go on a date? Do you ever have the, and I think everybody can relate when we start talking about this. Hey, babe, what do you want to eat? I don't care. Okay. So how about this? No, I don't want that. Well, what about this? No, I don't want that either. All right. So just let me know what you want to eat. Well,
no, you can pick.
So we are going to talk about dating as husband and wife, or even as couples. And we're going to introduce something that we are going to start utilizing here soon, which is the adventure. What is it? The Adventure Challenge for Couples Edition. We know nothing about it. We've seen it on all the famous social media, TikTok, Instagram, everything. Mm-hmm. And our pastors told us about it. So we decided we're going to give it a try.
So I, first of all, probably want to ask, what do you think your favorite date that we've ever gone on? What do you think that was?
My favorite or our favorite?
Oh.
That's a different question. Oh, hot spot. I'm in the hot seat now.
It's okay. I also don't have an answer right now. I just thought it was a great...
No, so my favorite date was actually an opportunity. Yes, we are Disney parents.
Oh, yeah.
And my probably favorite one was us going to Disneyland as adults.
It was Disney World.
Disney World, excuse me. Disneyland, California. Disney World. As adults with no kids.
We had a good time.
Spending time, because most of the time we always go with kids and we want to get in line and have them do stuff. But that was a full weekend.
It was.
That's
good.
It was really good. Yeah. It was just us having fun, us being in long lines where we can communicate still with each other.
Yeah.
Without worrying about where the kids are running off to or why they're walking.
Or entertaining kids while you're in line.
Or trying to figure out why your kids are with a whole new family in Disney. Yeah, I think that was one of my favorite. Those are my favorite dates. The big dates that we usually would do as a vacation.
Yes. Okay.
Those are my favorite. Outside of that, was my birthday.
Oh yeah,
that was great. She got crazy.
What?
She got wild.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
On your birthday?
On my birthday.
Are you talking about the party bus one?
Oh, the most recent one we just had.
Oh,
not my 40th birthday, my 41st birthday.
I did get him a party bus.
Yeah, that was one of my most recent favorite dates. Was you. Just letting loose. It's been so long. It's been so long that you have, and she reaped the consequences of being a dancer that night and her back and her legs.
So we went to a concert of someone, an artist that was really famous more whenever I was a teenager. And
yeah.
I danced so much. Oh my gosh.
And she doesn't dance. That's the thing.
No. I'm a mom, so I dance with my kids and I'll dance around the house and stuff.
She doesn't dance.
But not jumping constantly. Yeah. I don't have a whole lot else to shake, so my hair was it.
That was probably my most recent day. So let me ask you, what has been your favorite dates?
When we got scooters downtown.
That was good.
So we have some friends that are really great at finding different dates, not dinner and a movie, because that's kind of the repetitive. And so whenever I'm I really need a good date and better ideas, so I asked them. And they always come up with the best. She was like, "Oh, go feed ducks." And I was like, "Why would I feed ducks? Where are you finding ducks to feed?"
Right.
And then she mentioned scooters. And I remember we were in DC once with someone who's a spiritual mom to us. And she loved the scooters and she got us turned on to them. And then, so whenever I was like, "Oh, we won't have any kids. This will be great." So we went downtown and we did. We had a lot of fun.
We bar hopped on scooters.
We did. I got to figure out that I'm actually pretty decent at riding scooters.
It's pretty easy.
So that was probably my favorite date.
That was
recently. I do agree though. I really like the trips that we've gone on. We've done Vegas. We've done what was that? St. Augustine. That was super cool. Just getting away with you is great. We've done casinos. We've done.
You guys are hearing all this and be like, "Hey, you guys have a lot of money." No, that's not it at all.
No, we prioritize.
Yeah,
we prioritize.
We save for situations when we know we want to do something extravagant, I guess you could say. We put away to make sure, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is the kind of money we can spend for it.
Yeah, and we'll plan within that budget too. So like, there have been times when I look, at Airbnb or hotels.com even, and like, I'll go in and kind of price out what we need. And then whenever the time comes, then that's our budget that we had previously.
But we're not here to talk about finances. We're here to talk about dating.
Yeah.
Dating your spouse. It's amazing, guys. You need to do it. Make sure that you're constantly dating your spouse. We had to sit down with our pastors. They're doing they're digging deeper into the whole marriage aspect of things. And one of the things that I loved that they did was, we had, how many couples did we have in that session?
Like 27.
It was a nice amount of individuals that just wanted to hear. And what the pastors had said, like they told us, literally as we're sitting there, go look on your phone, pick a day, go on a date that day. No excuses, do it right now.
Yeah.
And I like that because that's something that, a lot of couples fail to do is spend time with each other. There's a lot of, we have a lot of stuff going on in our lives. We know that as a married couple, as parents, with work. But don't let being a parent, don't let being someone who has a full-time job, don't let that stop you from being the best partner you can be to your spouse.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way I can put it.
Yeah.
Make excuses. Sometimes even dates can be little simple shopping.
That's what I was going to say. So like, instead of making excuses to not go on a date, make excuses to have time together. So do you
I like that.
That was good. So like, okay, currently, that's what I was actually going to say next for parents that can't get sitters, right? Right now, our kids are in school. All of our kids except for one. We have one baby and he's at home right now. And twice a week, usually.
And he's asleep.
He is asleep. We're doing this while he's asleep. Literally right next door. So, we bring him.
Yeah.
We bring him, and we don't pick the most, crazy place where it's going to be obnoxious to have a baby, but it's time that we get to prioritize for ourselves. And we might even schedule it around a time that we know he's not going to be crazy hungry or a time that he's going to be sleepy. We find the time where we get to just be together. And then there's days when he's asleep, and if we're not doing, our show, we're on the couch watching something that we've put off,
Yeah.
And we're making excuses to have the time together.
Well, here's the misconception of dating. People think dating means spending money. People think dating means going to eat food.
We like food.
We do like food, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what dating is.
No, it's having intentional time together.
Yes.
As spouses.
Intentional time together.
Put the phone down. There have been times, and that's a really good segue into this. There have been times when we're going to have some intentional time together and something comes up for him for work, and he gives me a heads up. He doesn't wait till we're in the moment and says, oh my gosh, I forgot about this, or, oh, they just called in this, because in that moment, I would assume then they are priority. But if I go into it knowing I get this much time with him and it is still worth it for me, then that's me telling him that you're worth sitting in a restaurant for a few minutes while you have to take a work call.
Yeah.
All the rest of that time is worth it to me.
Make it worth it.
Absolutely.
I like that. Make it worth it. You gotta decide. How important is your marriage? How important is your relationship with the person that God has provided for you? Is it important enough to intentionally go on these dates?
Yeah.
Is it important enough for you to make sure and this is why I say it's important, is because this is going to people with kids. Your kids are going to only be in the household for 18 years, most likely, for the most part. If you're doing it right, get them out of there. Once they're adults, they're going to start their own lives, right? And you want them, again, I need to stop saying that word. You want them to do like you or better. Yeah. You want them to learn to love their spouse.
Wants them to exceed, your child to exceed in every area.
But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. When the kids are gone, who's left? Husband and wife. You are spending the rest of your life together.
Yeah.
So if you spend all of that time only dating your children or only dating your work,
that'll preach, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
you will, thank you. Yeah. You will harm the potential future of your marriage when the kids are no longer in the home.
Well, marriage is an investment. My parents used to say this all the time. Like we would ask, oh, you're going on another date. Yeah. Dating is cheaper than divorce. And boy, is it. Yeah. Even all of our dates that we've had so far in the 14-ish years that we've been together.
Still a lot cheaper than the divorces we've got.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I believe that you should invest in that. And, don't be afraid to come up with expectations for a date, though. So, like, we're talking about prioritizing the time, and I'm prioritizing you, even though we have the baby. But there are still times when I'm like, hey, I have an expectation or I have a need and I want to get dressed up and I want to be kid free. I don't want to have to, feed a baby French fries while we're, talking. And that time for me is important. And we will, go through our little, sitters and see who's available and we will make it happen.
You make it happen. You have either, it's worth spending $40, $50 on a sitter to watch all of our kids. We have a lot of kids. So we do spend more than that. So if you're looking for a babysitter job, just a nice little plug, but it's worth it to us. Like you have to find ways to stay connected and continue to bond with the person that you fell in love with. If you dated before marriage to win them over, you should be dating after marriage to continue to win them over.
Yeah.
I can't say I don't understand it because we stopped for a while and then we learned we've got to continue to win each other over or we're going to lose sight of why we married each other, why we liked each other.
Well, and then even just like very simple things. I made a post probably about, 4 or 5 months ago where I was just kind of diving into like, my love for you has to grow, right? It can't stay stagnant because you're growing as a person. We might come to find out, that you're, you believe differently in certain things than I do, or you're, where your career was this whenever we got together and now it's this, that you're experiencing growth as a human, as a person all by yourself. And then my love for you has to also grow and accommodate that. And that's not going to happen if we're not having time together to get to know, well, where's your mind at on this?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going in that direction. All right. I won't have the capacity for that if I'm not knowing and growing with you.
Right. And that goes both ways, ladies and gentlemen. She's speaking from her heart. It's literally, as men, we have to do that same thing. Yeah. This isn't just a woman has to grow and love her husband. Men, you have to do the same thing.
This is
you have to be willing to
gender neutral.
Exactly. We're in a day and age where, unfortunately, because the way the economy is, and we've seen it, a lot of people that are probably watching right now grew up in a single family home. Mm-hmm. And it was hard for them because their parent was always gone because they're working 2 or 3 jobs. It's still like that. We still have to find a way to succeed and make sure that everybody's taken care of. But again, that's not an excuse to take away from the spouse, the person you married that you decided you want to do life together with. So dating is extremely important.
Yeah. You don't ever want your partner to feel stuck.
No.
Like growing together is important, but you you won't do that if you're not having time together and knowing where they are mentally, spiritually, physical. We'll talk about that another day. But, getting that time together is important to do that. And also, like, having fun together.
Yeah.
Like,
Things.
if you're watching right now and you're thinking, like, having fun together, what? Like, yeah. If you can't remember the last time you had fun with your spouse, make a date right now.
Absolutely.
Make a date, because
Go have
fun. Fun things we've done. The scooters, of course. Karaoke. We love karaoke, and we have a great time doing it.
axe throwing.
Axe throwing is one of my favorites for sure. We've done bowling. It's not
It's more fun.
my favorite.
That's a more
race,
family thing.
but yeah, it's more of a family thing. But some people enjoy that together. But there's lots of things, heck, go get a paintball gun or a Nerf gun and have a Nerf gun war.
Yeah.
Like, there's lots of fun things that you can do together. Something that we do together that other couples might find as a date is we have a home gym, and we get that time together.
Yeah.
It's not always cupcakes and rainbows in that gym, because
Cupcakes rainbows for me, not for her.
my husband's a personal trainer, and sometimes I think I know my body limits, and he thinks that he knows better than me, and he probably does. But that's time that we're getting to grow together, and we're motivating each other, and we're learning about each other, about our limitations.
Dates can be as simple, and we went back to it before, as the kids are asleep.
Mm-hmm.
We got to go to the store.
Yeah.
Let's go shopping.
Let's go shopping, or let's go to Whataburger.
Let's go to Whataburger.
Milkshake.
Yeah.
We snuck out the other night, and we did. And it was so much fun.
And that's it, man. A date doesn't have to last 2-3 hours. It doesn't have to last an hour. It can be 30 minutes. It's just that intentional time together.
Yeah, we found a window several times. This is one of our favorite things that we do together is Christmas shopping for the kids.
Yeah.
This year, I didn't get to go with him as much, and it hurt my heart. Like, he was having to like call me and FaceTime me and text me, and I was like, oh, I should be with you. But it's something fun that we get to do together. But yeah, I would just say, like, find the little moments. There's always going to be the family things, and you want your kids to see, that y'all love each other and that you're prioritizing your marriage in front of them, right? So, like, the cooking together, the talking while the other one's doing the dishes, the, just the normal day-to-day life where your kids get to see your interactions. But they also need to see, like, yes, we are getting the babysitter. We are doing this because this is important, and this is how we feed our marriage, and this is how we stay strong enough to be your parents together.
There's going to probably be a lot of questions about, well, what if we can't afford a babysitter? Mm-hmm. What if we can't find somebody that's willing to watch our kids? What if? What kind of advice do you have for those people?
Well, like I said.
And if you are one of those people, listen up.
Yeah, we get it. We've been in those spots where we didn't have a sitter. And we had to say no to events because we didn't have a sitter. And, we'll use, again, we've used just last week we went to a bridal shower, and we used that as our date, with good conversations on the way there and on the way back. And we got to be spiritual leaders together, which is great. Ministry together is fantastic. But I would say, I would still find ways, right? So, like, for us, you could go do a jog. If your kids are old enough to be at home, you can go do some stuff together in the garage. You can, read to each other in the bathroom.
Yeah.
There's, or do a Bible study together.
You can garden in the backyard. There's so many ways to date your spouse, even inside and around your home.
Yeah. Outside of the home, you can get a booth adjacent to your children. I've seen so many couples do that before,
Yes.
where they're like, that's going to be the kids' table. This is my table with my husband, and we are going to have 5 minutes of conversation between dealing with the kids.
Yeah.
And
Well, because once you get the food there, that's when the time. All right, we got a little bit of time. Let's talk about this, that, and the other.
and if you have one of those cars where you can turn the volume up in the back, but not in the front, oh boy, I know he's got something to tell me whenever the music goes up and he's changing, the fade.
To the back of the
Yeah. Or the balance. I
Yeah.
guess. So, you find those ways because, like I said, it's not just about, just having time. That in those moments where we've got all the kids talking to us or to each other or throwing stuff in the car. In that moment, he's saying, you knowing this information is more important than what's happening back there that we can't fix anyways, right? We're driving down the road. We can't fix that. So that is, his actions in that moment of prioritizing that I need to know this information speaks so loudly to me, into my heart, knowing that he wants to include me.
So just going back to reiterate a little bit, it's stop making excuses not to date.
Make excuses to date.
Yes, absolutely. It's
Just to get some small amount of, like I said, it might not be alone time. It might just be attention, It might.
retrain your brain to do that. Yeah. We all have calendars in our phones. Everybody, I don't want to hear anybody say they don't, because even the old flip phones still have calendars. We all have ways to put stuff in calendars. What I'm going to tell you right now is just like our pastors did. Open up your phone right now with your spouse with you. Find a day to go on a date this month. Find a day. One day. We're not telling you to go every week. We're not telling you to go every day. Pick one day this month. Or start off like that altogether. Pick one day every month that is going to be tailored to you and your spouse on a date. Just pick the date. You guys can figure out what you want to do from there at that point. The figuring out part is the really fun part. But pick that date. Choose it. Open up your calendar. Do it blind. I don't care. Do it. Stop making excuses not to date your spouse. Here's your excuse. You're being told by someone in social media.
It's got to be legit.
So it's legit. Do what I say. No, go pick that date. And then, we'll go into that a little bit. Again, the Adventures Challenge for couples.
This one is really cool. I'll just show them really quick. So what's super cool is...
And again, real quick, I hate that I say that again. Real quick, I just need to say, we're not sponsored.
Oh gosh, no.
Or we're not doing any of that. These are literally things that we think are awesome that are going to help us. And our friends our friends who have showed us the different places to eat and go hang out, they showed us this as well too.
So you pick one and you scratch it off, but it's really cool because it's got like parameters. Like this one is kid friendly. It's got a baby. There are, there's time frames on it. And so you can kind of get it all set up to know what's going to happen. And then you scratch it off. Right. There's even a place to put a picture, and it's got the peel and stick. It comes with the peel and stick so that you can put it on, take a photo and put it on here. It's just really cool. A cool little thing to think through.
Yeah, it gives you...
It thinks for you.
Exactly. And when we talk about at the very beginning, when I said, what do you want to go eat? We all know we go through this, ladies and gentlemen. What do you want to eat? I don't know. I don't care. Well, how about this? No, this takes it out of it.
I will say, though, if you know your spouse, they probably really just want one of two things. For me, it's sushi. 100%. If he says, okay, do you want to do sushi or this place that has sushi? I'm not going to say no.
Right.
Also, tacos, but not the fake crap. I'll say yes to tacos anytime.
She means like Taco Bell, not fake tacos. She likes real, authentic Mexican tacos.
I'm not talking.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay. Yeah, or
Not-
probably any other restaurant.
To her, fake tacos or Taco Bell is what I'm saying.
We don't do American tacos.
Americano. Yeah. For men, if you have the problem with trying to figure out and your spouse doesn't want to help you figure out where to go, because it's all I want this. No, I don't want that. Learning curve, even for me, just take them. At that point, just go. You pick something. Backlash will come after the fact. You pick something. Take them.
I don't ever get mad at you.
No, if she's hungry, she's hungry. But what I'm saying is, sometimes just take the bull by the horn and do it. Stop asking her. You know what your spouse likes. You know what your spouse wants. For me, my problem is when I ask her, what do you want to eat? It's because I can eat anything, anywhere. And I think there's a lot of people on here that probably agree you can eat anything, anywhere, and you'll be happy. Not everybody's like that.
No.
So when I say, what do you want to eat? I'm hoping she'll tell me, because it'll make me not have to make a decision on where we have to eat. And I'm happy
When
either
you
way.
make a decision, it's really sexy.
And that's the part. That's why I'm saying grab the bull by the horns, because sometimes as men, we go back and forth and we're worried about making the wrong decision. Yeah. We're always worried about making the wrong decision. And I think that's a societal norm. That's something that people go through.
And that's why I said, like, okay, I'm someone, just being real, who romanticizes everything, right? So, like, in my head, whenever I'm wanting a date, a no children date, I want to put on something much cuter and probably a little bit tighter or more revealing than what my normal clothing is. I want you to smell really good and like wear my favorite clothes. And I want, like, I probably even want us to match.
Yep.
You know, like I want to do, you know, the sit down dinner with the napkin that goes over your lap. And, you know, I want that. And I don't. The
limousine. And
stop. No. And I don't want to just come home right after. But just recently we went on a date where the only sitter we could find couldn't stay out.
Yeah.
And had to be home. And so we did just do dinner. And while a small part of me was a little bit disappointed, first of all, he knew all my expectations, but I knew what was realistic in that. And again, the time together in that moment was worth me giving that up. You know, I wasn't going to throw out the whole date just because we could only do dinner.
Yeah, so we as humans, we as couples need to stop finding reasons to be mad about everything.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay if your expectations aren't met in those areas.
That's life.
You're talking
That's
about
life, guys. Your expectations are never going to be met for the most part.
And you're going to make the best of it.
Yeah.
And I think that you and I do a really great job of that.
I can't remember a time that we've gone on a date where we didn't have a good time or didn't enjoy each other's company.
Yep.
And I know that's not everybody. I understand that.
Well, even on the dates that we have to have hard conversations, we make sure to end on a good note.
Have the hard conversations.
Yeah.
Always.
We will always say that.
We get that not everybody is there based off of what we're saying. We want you to understand that we didn't get here overnight.
Oh, God.
Understanding.
I wish.
Yes. Understanding.
There's growth in the hard conversation.
That we had to do, no, not just the hard conversation, the dating aspect.
Oh, yeah.
Understanding that we have to prioritize our dating life again to maintain a very good marriage. It took time.
Yeah.
It still takes time. We still have to do it. Again, we are trying new things to make sure that we don't have excuses on not to do something fun with each other.
Yeah.
All I'm asking is that you guys take the time and try to help your marriage and dating each other again.
Yeah.
Because there are going to be some amazing benefits from that, not just for the longevity of your marriage, but the legacy of your marriage.
Yeah.
What that's going to look like to your kids' kids, right? My great-great-grandma and grandpa loved each other, you know? Those are the stories that I hope that our great-grandkids will be like, man, I wish I could have met them because they sound like this amazing couple. Those are the stories I want to hear, not, I don't know, they were I think they liked each other. No, I want our legacy to know.
And I think like to that point, date, say your marriage is rocky, it's in a rut. We dated through that, you spend that time, you still continue to invest, and you still, are feeding this thing health,
Yeah.
through that. You're not going to get out of it by resenting each other and by going the opposite way and always planning things opposite of each other. That's not how you grow. That's not how you reconnect. That's not how, you get back to the same page. You date through it, date through the mess, and your time will be blessed. It will. You will start seeing results very quickly.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
We see results.
Yeah.
And that's why we do this. That's why we decided we wanted to do these podcasts and these shows, because we want people to succeed in the areas that we have finally succeeded. That has taken us some time.
Yeah, we had to go through it though. We had to go through the mess to get there.
And we know there's a lot of people that don't have somebody that they can talk to. We know there's people that don't know these simple little things to do to potentially change the outlook of their marriage. It took us a long time to finally get those people. So we are now being those people for you guys. Very beginning, we talked about, just said that we're growing together. We want to grow together with you guys. We want to see growth. For those individuals who have commented or said things to us on our channel, we appreciate that so much, because we love the feedback. We love talking back and forth to you. Real quick with feedback, what do you think of our new setup? Do you want us to stay here, go back to couch? Let us know.
Or coffee in a cereal bar.
It's just easier for us to have these. The couch is great. I like it. I like this a little more.
I think maybe I get too comfortable on the couch.
That's the point of the couch.
Yeah, no.
Comfort's good. Ladies and gentlemen, keep dating your spouse.
Yes.
Don't stop dating your spouse. Make it a point to date them, because it's going to be important later on down the line. What is it you said?
Don't make excuses to not date your spouse or your partner. Make excuses to date them and to be with them.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
They are worth it, and your marriage is worth it.
Your marriage is 100% worth it.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys again for watching another episode of JD and Jess. Like, subscribe, share, do whatever you want. Let us know how you feel. Talk to us in the comments.
And tell us what your favorite date has been.
Yeah, actually, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Let us know what your favorite date, and give us
probably steal it.
And if we do, we'll let you know. Thanks again, guys, for watching, and we will see you next time.
Next time.
Bye.
Boy.